Aditya's day. Over to you, sir. Love you. God bless you, beta. I'm proud to be a teacher. Over to you again. Right? Please go ahead, sir. Right? Please go ahead.
Yes, Professor, thank you so much for the introduction. And as usual, let me request you not to call me sir. Please call me captain. You have been my teacher. And I would like to thank you for two things. One is the introduction of Mujib Saab, who has given us a very important life advice. And seeing today's times as it is very pertinent. And second is for the opportunity on your hard-earned platform. So I will start with my lecture.
I call it our platform. All my social media is our platform. It's Captain's platforms also. It's your platform, Viral. It's your platform, Krishna. Right? It's all because of you. I don't put any personal photographs. Yes, lovely start. Perfect start. Gani would love you. Gani would love you, I'm telling you. Okay. Right. Go ahead.
Right. A few important disclaimers before I start. One is it's going to be a very generic presentation because the audience profile is non-specific and the field is very, very vast. I'll try to be non-technical, non-theoretical. Although I specialize in Maharashtra because my farm is located in Thane region, the Konkan belt, I will try to be geographic neutral so that many people can enjoy the benefits. Obviously, because it is limited time, there is going to be a scope restriction. I'll not do a deep dive. I am not aware of your current status. कि COVID के वजह से आपके धंधे को कितना फर्क पड़ा हुआ है. I do not know how politically connected you are because in some projects maybe you may require that. I'll just tell you these are the opportunities as I see them. I will try to give you a national to local perspective so that you get a context. मतलब from a telescope to a microscope. And obviously, because it's a Zoom platform, there is going to be limited interaction. Now, having said this, I'm going to share my experiences and what I see are the opportunities from ground up in agriculture. A quick question. What I've shown on the slide, you've got tomato, you've got cucumber, you've got ladyfinger, you've got pumpkin, you've got capsicum and brinjal. Can you tell me whether they are fruits or vegetables?
Chat. Fruits.
Okay, great.
Come on. Somebody else, quickly. Arey Baba, fruits, vegetable, fruits, vegetable, bread, enough.
Okay, right. So the point I was trying to make is these are all fruits because the technical definition of fruit is something that is grown from a flower and has seeds inside. And vegetables is not even a botanical name. Actually, fruits is a botanical name. Vegetables is a culinary name. This slide is just to demonstrate what we think we know about agriculture is not what it is, which brings me to the next slide as to how people interchange the definition of...
Aditya ji, one sec. Varun Agarwal and Prashant Jain, love you. Typical Indian education answer, both fruits and vegetables. Tadam! Okay, good. Continue.
Actually, sir, just to tell you, tomato, there was a US Supreme Court judgment which allowed the use of tomato as both fruit and vegetable. So it's a very interesting history. Anyways, coming back to the point, you should read up on that. So agriculture is the art and science of growing crops, animal rearing, etc. Farming is the business aspect, and cultivation is pertaining only to growing of crops. People use it interchangeably, but this is the slight difference. Now, what is this presentation about? First, I'm going to tell you about what I do very quickly. I'll also try to analyze what I feel the government intended when it carried out the stimulus come reforms package for the agricultural sector. And finally, what I see are business opportunities in agriculture. A humble request, please do not ask me questions in between so that it doesn't disturb the flow. Please consult experts when you actually execute these endeavors. And these are my observations based on my experiences. You are requested to do your own research and due diligence as well. Right. I would have loved to take all of you to the farm at Aditya Agro, but circumstances do not provide for that. So if Muhammad cannot go to the mountains, mountains shall come to Muhammad. So this is Aditya Agro farm. As you can see, an old satellite picture. It's a 75-acre property located at Shahpur on the Mumbai-Nashik highway. And it's owned by my mother, Dr. Rashmi Pathak. It was established in 2004. What we do pictorially, we are into horticulture, as you can see the plantations, aquaculture, vermiculture, oil extraction and distillation, nursery and dairy. I hope you note the dairy. And a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So this is the pictorial image. I'm into Son Safa cultivation. Vegetable cultivation only on order, rice plantation. These are all actual pics. 90% of the pictures I've used are actual pictures. Marigold plantation. I also have a plant hardening unit, come nursery, which we use. Then we had aquaculture, we had dairy. In the dairy of the milk, what we used to do is value add of ghee. This is what we used to do. After that, we used to have oil extraction and distillation of aromatic plants, specifically lemongrass. And for those who think that this was all random, it is not. There is a method to this madness. These are the links. I'm not going to go into details of that. On paper as well as on ground, these are all related and beautiful concepts. But like they say, if you want to give God a good laugh, tell him your future plans, right? And this is precisely what happened. In 2012, in the month of February, we had 3 fires, which destroyed about 85% of Aditya Agro. We lost about 7,500 trees. And that's the reason why you can see some of the activities I mentioned are ceased. The reason is I had to prioritize of what I would restart. So therefore I decided to focus on those which I thought were within my means. To give you a better idea, this is the video from the dairy. This is in 2011. That is lemongrass, you can see. Right, and the next video is like a Bandhana Luthra before and after pic, one of the worst videos of my life after the first fire. After this, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly thought that things have come to a full stop and what I would do ahead. So what I did to come out of, sorry sir, you were saying?
Captain, with your permission.
Please sir.
So there was one more discussion here, which I thought I don't want to intervene. So when you take your insurance, it just struck me, I didn't say that. When you take your insurance, you should also look at, this is for everybody, not Captain alone. When you take your insurance, you should also look at what is the riders given to. So I was talking to Aruj Agarwal, who is a very well-known expert in the field of insurance, God bless him. And he was telling me, I don't know how far it is true though, it just struck me that, there is something known as forest fire. So that rider could have possibly, I don't know how true it is. I have not discussed this with Captain. It just struck me that today, now, right, that, that rider maybe have saved Captain, but that's not the point. The point to everybody is, when you take general insurance, please look at all the riders. Know the difference between theft and burglary. Don't go and only negotiate on the premium. Look at earthquake, look at RM70, look at terrorism, look at every single thing. One more kid that Arujdi keeps telling me is, sir, uska udhar boiler blast ho gaya. If it would have taken a specific rider for boiler, it would have really helped him. Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought I should add. But again, please note, Captain Aditya went to disaster. 85% was wiped out. But, excuse me, he came back. Now watch how he has come back. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Captain.
So there is one clarification I would like to give. The insurance for crops is weather-based insurance. We had inquired about whether forest fire can be a part of that, but at that point of time, there was no such facility available. Basically, what happens is there are government satellites, weather stations, which record the rainfall. And if there is unseasonal monsoon or if there is a lot of rainfall, and when it is recorded on the government weather stations, only then you get the insurance. That is one of the biggest failings. As far as the fire is concerned, it was a forest fire or it was an act of arson, because we had 3 fires in 25 days where we had none in 8 years before. So we went to the forest department, we spoke with them, but they said, you may be right, it may be an arson, but there is no way we can follow up given our manpower. And in the end, sir, churi kharbuje pe gire ya kharbuja churi pe katna kharbuje ko hai. So whether it was by intent or by accident, let's leave it out there. Right, sir. So this is just a clarification as far as agricultural insurance is concerned.
Thank you.
Right, sir. Now let's come to the second important part where we are going to discuss what the government did when it announced the tranche 3 reforms come stimulus package. And something that sums this up beautifully is this saying by Vladimir Putin, who says that there are decades where nothing happens and there are weeks where decades happen. And what prompted those weeks to make those decades happen is something which is known as a black swan event. Now, a black swan event is a term which was coined by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, which refers to an incident which is so rare that it cannot be predicted, has disastrous consequences. And the funny part is, if you look in retrospect, it was very obvious. Now, everybody knows COVID happened, right? It was weeks in the coming. And before that, 5 years or before also, people were talking. Bill Gates was talking about that. So everybody thought it would happen, but nobody had the foresight. Now everybody says, oh, yes, it would have happened. Now, I will give you the newspaper headline excerpts from March onwards to explain how the situation developed. From March, mid-March, 70% supplies to APMC Vashi, where I'm located, Mumbai, started dipping. And the funny part is agriculture is an essential commodity. So it was not stopped by the government. The migrants, they started going. So there was nobody to load the vehicles. There were no drivers. There were no persons to work on the farm. So it was a supply chain disruption. Then, of course, APMC is also shut for several times because the people in there were found to be positive. Obviously, because the markets were shut, there was a wastage of the farmers' produce. And in fact, it is true. Heart-wrenching, where farmers had to, there was a farmer who fed his strawberry to the animals because he couldn't get a price. And of course, the great migrant crisis, which is covered ad nauseum in the media. But all these things have a silver lining. The darkest of cloud have a silver lining. What happened was this forced farmers to directly connect with housing societies and other front-end customers. And the government did not come in the way. APMC did not come in the way. And FPOs started doing home deliveries, which was good because they used to grade, package, and deliver it directly. So there was minimum contact. And this is something known as from farm to kitchen. So this is one positive development of this entire series of unfortunate events. Now let's talk about the stimulus cum reforms package. Please note, stimulus is when I'm talking about the economic package. Reforms is the political reforms, right? Now look at the breakup of the 1.5 crore stimulus package that was announced. 1 lakh crore financing by NABARD. NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development to strengthen farm gate infrastructure. Farm gate infrastructure is what it means. Whatever infrastructure is at the farm gate, it means your collection centers, it means processing centers, it means aggregations, it means your process, cold storage, whatever. So this is where the government is willing to give out loan to agripreneurs, startups, farmer producer organizations, cooperatives. This is something which you should look out for. And of course, they are the ones. Please concentrate on the ones which are in yellow because I will be focusing on them subsequently. The micro. Yes, sir.
Can I give you a boost?
Please, boliye, sir.
Your favorite professor Nimesh Rathod sir has joined the audience. Now see how we get pumped up. Chalo, pump up.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. So, micro food processing units, beekeeping, supply chain strengthening, right? And the others also important. Right. Now comes the main star of the show, wherein the reforms and why these political reforms are important and why credit must be given is something which I'll explain to you. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture is a state subject. State subject means the state has the final say. And the reason agriculture is a state subject is because India has 15 agroclimatic zones. So it is assumed that the state in that particular zone has both the expertise and the experience to handle their own problems. So what the center has actually done is they have superseded that, and that requires a lot of guts. These three things have been passed as ordinances and the presidential assent has been given. They have not been passed by the houses because of COVID, the houses are adjourned, right? I expect some action on this scene where the states may not go down without a fight, but this is an idea whose time has come. Now let's see which these three reforms, let's see one by one. The Farming Produce Trade and Commerce Facilitation and Promotion Ordinance 2020, which basically means one nation, one agricultural market. This reform is aimed at barrier-free transport and sale of agricultural goods, intra and interstate, both. Plus, they're also looking at digitization of the sale. There's a e-NAM website of the government, that is e-National Agriculture Marketplace. Because APMC का वर्चस्व हटाया गया है, they are hoping APMC also joins, and they have freed the farmers from selling only in their own district and only to the APMC. The second one is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020. In other words, it's corporate or contract farming. And of all these three, the Holy Trinity, I would say this one is the Brahmastra, and I'll tell you why when I go on it in the next slide. And of course, the revamp of Essential Commodities Act 1955, which deregulated the holding of certain cereals, delimited the stocks also. This is important from trading point of view. Please understand why the government introduced this act in the first place. In the 1950s, India was suffering from shortages. The elder members who are there as participants will remember those times. There were droughts, there were famines. So what used to happen is government did not want anybody to artificially hoard these items so that it increases the price, artificial scarcity create khone ke baad. So they did this thing, and it is not only for agriculture. The government has applied this act also in March, where the hand sanitizer and gloves, I think, have been put under that. So wherever there is a shortage, they apply this. I'm going to explain to you only with regards to agriculture, right? Now, what are the implications of contract farming? And this is where people are very, very interested, and this is something which you should all know. See, in India, more than 86% of the farmers are marginal or small. Marginal is 1 hectare, that is 2.5 acres holding. Small is 2 hectares or 5 acres holding. And the reason is very simple. When you are holding a land, aapke descendants, it gets split in that, so the holding over generations becomes very, very fragmented. Now, because of that, what happens is there is no economies of scale. Contract farming provides a company the opportunity to get into contract with hundreds, if not thousands of farmers. So they can leverage the economy of scale. Second is, because the company is getting into contract farming with these farmers, they will give them a lot of agricultural input, know-how, the fertilizers and the works. So the problems of low productivity also will be taken care of. Of course, when the companies have their skin in the game, they will strengthen the post-harvest infrastructure. You remember the farm gate infrastructure. So you've got cold storage, processing. So they will see to it that it doesn't go waste. Now, this is something which requires enunciation. Biggest reasons why farmers commit suicide is because of price unpredictability, right? When there is a heading that there is a bumper crop, it is bad news for farmers, because when supply is more, the prices crash. So farmer gets peanuts. In contract farming, there is a fixed price that is given. And more than that, what the law says is that if that fixed price is less than the market price, market is APMC price, then the market price applies. So this gives them some income assurance. Of course, the reason why farmers get into staples is because there is a minimum support price which is provided by government. Now, if you've got a company who will give them an assured price, of course, they will diversify into that, where they're getting that. So it promotes crop diversity as well. So horticulture and floriculture and all get a boost, vegetables. When major corporates come into contract farming, then a lot of people will be displaced for the simple reason that they would want efficiency. Now, by displaced, it doesn't mean that they'll be unemployed. Alternate infrastructure will be created, like cold storages, etc. If you have to do, they also require manpower, so they will be absorbed in that. So all these things will change the face of farming, or at least that is what the government hopes. The only place I would like to say that the government should not mess it up is by intervening in the dispute between the farmer and the company over a contract. There are certain farmers who may be unscrupulous, who may be tempted to sell their produce to another private player at a higher price despite getting into contract with the company. So it should not be made as a anti-farmer thing. The government should not come in. It should resist the urge of intervening. There are courts for that. There are other adversarial mechanisms. The government should let it be. And this is what I hope will change with this act. And obviously, who all benefits? These are the people who benefit, especially starting with educated and network farmers. Now, let's get down to the point is how does it benefit you directly? If you're a farmer, please get into contract farming. In contract farming, you can get into contract farming with a company for at least 1 season or up to 5 years. Align with national priorities. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll give an example. Textile companies in India were tottering because of a lot of problems, GST, VST, बहुत सारे issues थे. But they have now recovered because they have been, diverted into production of personal protective equipment. In fact, in 2 months, 2.5 months, India has created a 10,000 crore market. We are the second largest, if I'm not mistaken, producer. So when you align with national priorities, you benefit. Diversify. And that in contract farming, I have told you. And please get into startups. And I think Professor Menon has covered that startup topic in the Menon Mantras, if I'm not mistaken. Government wants startup because it promotes employment. Government is looking at employment. Farmer producer organizations or farmer producer companies. This is one area which I request all of you to look at if you're in the position to do so. I will not dwell on it because of scarcity of time. Now, what if you're not a farmer or if you're somebody else? Excellent time to strengthen your supply chain or your procurement sources. What you do is one of the tips I'll give you, on-ground tips. Generally, you want to look at who are the farmers. Every district has a district agricultural office. Please go to them, ask for the list of farmers or FPOs. They have it. The only mehnat you will have to do is you will have to verify whether they're actually working or they are defunct. वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा. But at least you'll get a start. Look at SSGs, that is self-help groups, and FPOs, which I mentioned earlier. And Gandhiji got it right when he said that India's economy is in rural India. That's why government after government invests heavily in rural India, and there's something which I agree with. For SSGs, approach the local Gram Panchayats. They have the list. There are, if you want to get into organic farming, for example, I'm just giving you an example. There are certification bodies for organic farming. Approach them, ask them for the list of certified farmers. Some may give, some may not give, but at least that's a point you can look at. And of course, APIDA is Agricultural Processing and Export Development Authority, which is the nodal point for exports. So they have a website where all exporters are registered, and there's a category where you can state you're a manufacturer or you're a producer. So you can look at those as a source, right? Now, why I feel that whatever happens, agriculture is phenomenal when it comes to business opportunities is something which I will explain to you through statistics. Of a global population as of 2020 of 7.77 billion people, India has 1.38, which roughly constitutes 17.7%. Global landmass, we had in school geography, we had heard is 29%, out of which India has 2.4%. And this is land. It is not arable land. Arable land is something you can do cultivation. Land includes deserts, forests, jungles, whatever. So as of 2011, it was approx 50%. So I would say now it is even less because now there is a construction spree, NA ho raha, ye ho raha. So less than 1%. And furthermore, what is happening is, if you see, this year has been very odd. You've got cyclones, you've got pest attacks. In fact, the Secretary General of UN went on record saying that this year there will be a global supply chain crisis of food. So what is the conclusion? In this case, the conclusion is that you've got 17.7% of global population and growing, subsisting on less than 1% of arable land and shrinking. So agriculture has to be looked at very, very seriously. Dunya idhar ki udhar ho jaye, this is going to be a perpetual sunrise sector. You have to invest in increasing output. So please look at it very, very seriously. Unfortunately, the Indian attitude is ki gaon mein bhi aap dekho, the most nikamma ladka goes into that. So what happens is it doesn't progress scientifically. And this is what I want to change. It is so scientific, is something which I will explain to you. Now, agriculture also is evolved. And when you talk about evolution, generally it's a pyramid. But in this case, based on my personal experiences, I say it is a cycle. How it is, I'll explain to you. If you look at the top left quadrant, when you are into cultivation, you're plant-based or you're production-based, like aap aam uga rahe ho. So you're a primary sector. Then you move on to the secondary sector where you become product or processing based. You become value, you are into value add. So like from mangoes, you become amras ya pickles. Then you move on to the tertiary sector where you become service based. And services are what? Transportation, warehouses, retail, export, FAAS, that is farming as a service. It is trading, cold storage, packaging, hospitality and tourism. You can move on. Then you come to the fourth sector, which is quaternary. And yes, it's a word I checked, where you're knowledge based, where you have biotechnology, you've got research, consultation, certification, education, and cloud. When I mean cloud, it is fifth generation technologies. Guys, popular perception is something which is different from what is agriculture heading towards. It is very exciting. And why then it connects again with cultivation is because if you're doing, say, if you want to study malaria, you go to the swamps, right? So if you're doing education, agriculture universities have to have farms. Or if you're doing biotech, you need to have a laboratory which becomes a farm. So it connects. There is a fifth level, which is welfare based, which involves farmer producer organizations and self-help groups. But I'm not dwelling on that. It's a very sustainable model and something we should aspire for. Please note, as you move from one sector to the other sector, two things happen. One is you earn more. Value add में you earn more. आम से आम का अचार आपको पैसा ज्यादा मिलता है. Second is you de-risk yourself. आपका जो risk है वो कम हो जाता है. As a farmer, when you're growing crops, you're subject to fury of nature. So which is less for other sectors, and of course it will have an impact, but not as much as on the primary sector. So these are the two things which you have to remember. Now, when you're in the first sector, when you're production based, what are the opportunities? So a lot of you may have, or some of you may have vacant agricultural land available, or you may not. You can do contract farming. Go for bamboo plantation. Now, bamboo plantation is, I have to give you a context. In December 2017, the government of India, it classified bamboo as a grass from a tree under the Indian Forest Act of 1927. Now, iska implication kya hai? Ki when it's a tree, you have to take permission to cut it, and transportation may be bahut loche hote. You have to take a lot of permission because it will be considered as smuggling. So the government said no. And the reason the government did that is this is a very, very versatile crop. This is used for everything from, from food to furniture to your activated charcoal to chopsticks. You name it, it is extremely, in fact, even from an ecology point of view, it absorbs, it releases 35% more oxygen. So it's that good. Currently, it is, in 2019, it was a $72 billion market global. In 2020, it is going to be a $75 billion market. And guess who is the leader in that? It is dominated by China. The irony is India is the largest bamboo grower in terms of land. We have 14 million hectare as compared to China's 6 million hectare. And these are the statistics of 2016 that I'm telling you. But the productivity wise, China has 30 to 40 tons per hectare as compared to India's 3 to 6 hectare. So there is a phenomenal opportunity for you to get into this. The government recognizes this, formed the National Bamboo Mission in 2006 with the aim of having a better share and getting more area under cultivation. It succeeded in getting more area under cultivation, but it was not able to improve the exports because it was not able to connect the farmer with the industries. They have launched a second mission in 2018 where 1300 crores have been allocated for that, and jitna bhi aap karo utna acha hai. Atmanirbhar Bharat hona hai, China ko bamboo dena hai. This is one direct way. The market is never going to subside. So ye kariye, it's a very sturdy crop. 1 saal, 2 saal aap dekhoge, it then grows on its own. So this is one.
Captain, I like that dialogue. You're smiling. Aur ek baar, please. Atmanirbhar bamboo ka ek dialogue aur ek baar. Please.
अगर आपको आत्मनिर्भर होना है, अगर आपको चाइना को बंबू देना है, this is one area which you need to concentrate on. Please note करिए, आखिर बंबू ही काम में आता है.
Professor Konadian will be here very soon. Okay, continue. Okay.
Right. Now we come to the second part. Anybody knows what a superfood is? A superfood basically is that product which has high nutritional density, which means that it gives more nutrients with lesser calories, and it also provides vitamin, minerals, and other antioxidants. And generally they are plant-based, they are animal-based also. Like you have got salmon, which is a superfood. But please study moringa. My God, when I was researching for this, and this is something which I am passionate about, you just see what all of this can be used. Moringa seeds, moringa flowers, moringa leaves, bark, everything is used. And all these products, they have a market. The market size in 2019 2018 was 5.5 billion, only Moringa products. And it is expected to grow to 10 billion in 2025. The major supplies are going to US, going to Western Europe and Japan. It is phenomenal and it has multiple uses. It is used in cosmetic sector also. It is used as a dietary supplement also. Dietary supplement by itself is a 125 billion market and it is never going to go out of fashion. This is something which you should consider. Again, it's a sturdy crop. India dominates it. We produce some 2.2 million tons because of the economies of scale. We control 80% because of the economies of scale. Our processing and costs are also very economic. But this is going to be perpetually in demand is my assessment. So please consider this crop, and it is also a very sturdy crop, as I've said. Right? Now, when you are processing based, when you go to the secondary sector, how can you benefit? One of the other silver linings to an otherwise dark cloud was that the environment got better and people also started enjoying nature. Group mein bahut photographs aate the, and one concern was that once human activity resumes, what will happen? So environment people became very conscious about. Secondly, what happened was that you have millennials who are environmentally conscious, social cause conscious. So it's a mindset and they are very particular about creating any damage to the environment. So the industry that comes into picture is recycling. Let me give you again a context to this. In 2019, that is last year February, the BMC, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, it issued a diktat. It said to all the coconut vendors that they have to now arrange for the disposal of the coconut husk and the coconut shells, empty coconut shells on their own. The BMC will not do anything about it. And it was a problem because please remember around 3 to 4 lakh shells, they come into the coconuts are processed. There are 2,000 vendors, 600 home deliveries. So kare kya? This is where the Institute of Chemical Technology, otherwise known as UDCT, it started working on the empty shell of the tender coconut and they came up with 3 byproducts. One was a LPG like gas, which was useful. Second was something known as biochar. Now biochar is used as an absorbent for drug purification. And the third was a bio oil which has agricultural usage. So this recycling waste has a tremendous potential, and in my books it is also a sunrise sector. So you can, and in our ancient Indian text, coconut is known as Kalpa Vriksha. Kalpa is fulfilling all essential needs. So please look into this also. You can have a plantation and then go into value add. So that is another way you can look at it. Right. Some facts about food processing. If you remember in the stimulus package, there was some fund allocated for micro food processors. Now, what is a micro food processor? It is those companies which have an investment of 25 lakhs or less and generally employ up to 10 workers. 98% of the market is informal or unregulated. We have, like, by government's estimate, there are 25 lakh micro processing units and 66% of them, they are located in, in rural areas. Processing is of 2 types. One is primary processing, where you've got this rice, sugar or edible oil. And there's a secondary processing, which is fruits and vegetables, dairy products, etc. So I'm talking about the secondary processing. Please look at meals ready to eat or look at dehydrated foods, especially dehydrated vegetables. India is the second largest producer of vegetables. The first again is China. So there is a sense that this is one of the most effective ways of reducing waste. So please look into this, and it has a tremendous export potential. 100% FDI also is allowed in this, right? The CAGR, that is compounded annual growth rate, as of 2020 was 16%. It is a sunrise sector. Now we come to the services based or the tertiary sector. Again, let me give you some facts. India is short of 10 million tons of cold storage capacity and over 50,000 cold vehicles, because of which 30% of agricultural produce, and in some cases it amounts to $14 billion per year, goes waste. And there are cold storages also are located 60% of them are located in only 4 states. That is UP, West Bengal, Punjab and Gujarat. And the irony is, out of these 60%, guess almost 80% of the storage is used for what? Do you know? It is used for potatoes and potato seeds. So tremendous market. Now, yes, there are issues in this sector. Every sector has an issue. One of the issues is that most of the cold storage infrastructure is located near the area of production, the farms. And because the farms are small, because they're not economical, that's why there is an issue. Charane ki murgi aur barane ka masala. So look at it as an opportunity, because this is a tremendous scope for aggregators and primary food processors. Plus, you have to look at how this sector can grow, because the government also is keen. This PM Krishi Samman Nidhi, they have announced this is 50% subsidy for transportation of goods from a surplus market to a deficient market, 50% subsidy on cold storage facility. So government is also keen on that. This sector as of now is about 1300 billion rupees in 2019. It is the 5th largest sector in India, and it involves 11% of agricultural processing. Please note, where there is a problem, there is plenty of opportunity, and this is something which you should look at, right? Okay, when you talk about technology based, the funny part is when you talk about a farmer, the first image that comes to your mind is, you know, meri desh ki dharti ho, gamcha clad kisan and plowing with vegetables. Plowing with a plow. And nothing can be further from the truth. If you have heard of blockchain, most of you have heard of it as applications in cryptocurrency. What I'm talking about is in agriculture. Yes, my dear friends, technology as in blockchain, among the many technologies applicable in agriculture, and don't take my word for it. Take the word for our country's Prime Minister. Here we go.
करते हुए आप अपने स्तर पर कृषि क्रांति का नेतृत्व कर सकते हैं। जैसे एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय है एग्रीकल्चर में आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, ये आने वाले समय में खेती के क्षेत्र में क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन लाने वाला है। देश के कुछ हिस्सों में सीमित स्तर पर किसान इसका इस्तेमाल कर भी रहे, जैसे बुआई और पेस्ट कंट्रोल के लिए ड्रोन जैसी तकनीक का इस्तेमाल आज अब धीरे धीरे शुरू हुआ है। इसके अलावा सॉइल मैपिंग और कमोडिटी प्राइसिंग में भी टेक्नोलॉजी काम कर रही है। इसके अलावा आने वाले दिनों में ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी का भी बड़ा अहम रोल रहेगा। इस तकनीक से सप्लाई चेन की रियल टाइम मॉनिटरिंग हो पाएगी। इससे में खेती में होने वाले लेन देन में पारदर्शिता आएगी। सबसे बड़ी बात, बिचौलियों की बदमाशी पर भी लगाम लगेगी और उपज की बर्बादी भी लगाम लगेगी। साथियों, ये भी हम सभी को भली भांति पता है कि किसान की लागत बढ़ने की एक वजह खराब क्वालिटी के बीज, फर्टिलाइजर और दवाइयां भी होती है। ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी से इस समस्या पर नियंत्रण पाया जा सकता है। इस तकनीक के माध्यम से प्रोडक्शन की प्रक्रिया से लेकर किसानों तक पहुंचने तक किसी भी चरण पर प्रोडक्ट की जांच आसानी से की जा सकती है। एक पूरा नेटवर्क होगा जिसमें किसान, प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स, वितरक, रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी और उपभोक्ता की एक चेन होगी। इन सभी के बीच नियम और शर्तों के आधार पर बनाए गए स्मार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पर यह तकनीक विकसित की जा सकती है। इस पूरी चेन से जुड़ा व्यक्ति क्योंकि इस पर नजर रख सकता है, लिहाजा इस पर भ्रष्टाचार की गुंजाइश भी कम रहेगी।
Right, and this was our Prime Minister's address to the convocating class of 2018 of Sher-e-Kashmir University, and they have, you have heard what he has said, smart contract. We are talking about contract farming now. He has gone one step further by saying smart contract, and they have walked the talk, because in 2018-19 budget they have allocated to $480 million. $480 million for 5th generation technologies, machine learning, AI, what have you. So they're actually serious about that. So if you are into technology, apps, etc., Digital India, Digital Maharashtra, these are the platforms which really are something which you should exploit, because this is the way the winds are blowing. The government is keen, and even if the government is not keen, there are a lot of private markets, because I can see a lot of people are interested in agriculture. So it is a scope for you as a technology level, right? And I had spoken about from farm to home delivery, right? So this takes it one step further. What happens is, even if it is delivered to your house, you can't trace. You don't know from where exactly it has been bought. You don't know what kind of fertilizers or what is it, organic, whatever. You don't know that. Blockchain eliminates that, because everything is noted and it is very difficult to manipulate that. So this is what I'm saying. Please understand which way the winds are blowing. Now, I was talking to you about adjusting to national priorities, right? And nothing can be a better example than the Integrated Bee Development Center. Now, when I talk about bees, the first thing that comes to your mind is obviously honey. And I'll give you some interesting facts about honey also. For 1 pound of honey, the bees in that hive have to travel 55,000 miles. They pollinate 70 of the 100 staple foods which feed 90% of mankind, and which translates into USD 30 billion every year in crops valuation. And apparently Albert Einstein has said that if the bees were to be extinct, what would happen is humanity would be extinct within 4 years. That is the impact bees have. And that's one reason why people are avoiding chemical sprays, because that is what kills bees. Now, when you're talking about the honey market, again, as of 2018, India is the 8th largest honey market. Guess which is the first? China. India has a production of about 64.9 thousand tons versus China's 551,000 tons. So you can imagine the difference. Now, bees have been recognized so important that the government is actually considering giving the status of farmers to landless beekeepers, considering the bees to be considered as agricultural input, and helping the farmers to diversify the bee products. And these are some of the products: the bee wax and the bee box. But what you do not know is the next 3 items: the epitoxin, or known as bee venom, the royal jelly, or the propolis. All 3 have medicinal applications, the pharma applications. Bee venom, in fact, is an active pharmaceutical ingredient, and something which India needs very badly, because India is aspiring to be the pharmacy to the world. And we want to reduce dependence on China. Atmanirbhar, this is Atmanirbhar. And besides that, because of the pollination, the farmers' yields increase. The government's intention is 2016, they had a Dalwai committee report where they wanted to double farmers' income. This is one of the ways they are doing it. There is a integrated beekeeping center project, which is funded by the center and the state, 60:40 ratio, where the grant in assistance is somewhere between 5 crores to 15 crores. They are looking at certain requirements, like you have to have 25 acres of land. And it's a project here, but it requires a networking at a higher government level. And government is keen on that. So if you align with this, then it becomes a very good concept. And I'll tell you how to link it also. If you've got, for example, moringa. Moringa is very good for bees. Bees, in fact, collect honey from moringa. So you can have a moringa plantation and the integrated bee development center. So you create a value chain which is interlinked, like what we did. The output of one becomes the input of the other. Right. So I was telling you that when the fire happened, that time it was a full stop. So how am I trying to come from red to black? This is what I'm doing. I'm doing trading under the brand name Amantran, where I purchase mangoes directly from the farmers of Devgarh region, which is authentic Alfonso mango, and they're tested, and I supply them. I'm now doing bulk. Second thing I did, I got into agro-tourism, wherein cashew picking or rice plantation, our next generation does not know what nature is like, what farming is like. You ask my nephews where the milk comes from, they will say it comes from the doodh wala bhaiya or from a supermarket. So all this I enable the children and adults to enjoy nature and know about it. I've got into tourism for camping, and I'm also in the process of constructing my own farm stays, which is Parijat farm stays. And because of COVID, it is stuck. I hope things improve. And that is all from my side. If you have any questions, I would be happy to take them with Professor Menon's permission.
Of course, lovely presentation. Questions always welcome, right? I just want to write a last comment. So we talked about two things here. One is farmers' income will be doubled, was the statement made by the Prime Minister. And I immediately checked back. I want to tell you something here, which is very important, right? Agriculture income earned by a taxpayer is in India is exempt under Section 10(1) of the Income Tax Act 1961. I double checked it because I wanted to check it before telling you all. Section 10(1) of Income Tax Act 1961. It's been a great presentation. I would, as always, you would ask questions at this time. Captain would take it, but some of you all will break for dinner. But before you break for dinner, I want us, you can see all that chat coming up for you, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. I call it sir out of respect. Okay. Yeah. Can I have Nimesh Rathod, sir, propose a vote of thanks? Right? Because he loves Nimesh Rathod, sir. And suddenly at 7 o'clock, he writes to me, can you please invite Nimesh Rathod, sir? And I'm like, boss, right? Last minute. But I don't know. There seems to be some connect. And Nimesh, sir, has been very kind to come at very, very short notice. So, Vinayak Monai, there will be Nimesh Rathod, sir. Please unmute, sir. And he doesn't need any preparation. He is very spontaneous. Sir, vote of thanks for our young captain, Aditya, sir.
Am I audible?
Absolutely audible, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and good evening, Captain. And evening, I was completely in your presentation. So I joined at 8 p.m. and it was luck because it seems you just started at 8. Or at least that's what I felt, because I was there from when you started by saying what am I going to cover, and that's the time when I entered. It was fantastic insight into the agricultural world, and the detailing and the way you presented the numbers very clearly. Passion comes out. You don't need to state that you're passionate about agriculture. More importantly, I think, having gone through a fairly challenging cycle yourself, the passion seems to keep you rooted and keep you focused on your belief that this is the way forward. Fantastic. Thank you so much for giving us all of this information. I'm sure the students are going to be overwhelmed to quite an extent by the numbers that you gave. At the same time, what you brilliantly did was rechange their perception about what is agriculture in India, and I think when you start making young entrepreneurs start to make them think about agriculture as a business, you do a great favor to our nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Excuse me, absolutely standout session. Never knew even 2% of what I learned today, Gani. And Nimesh sir, I don't like you at all. It was my slides till 8 o'clock, sir. How could you say it publicly that, you came in only for Captain Aditya? Not fair at all. Okay. Sir, you missed my presentation and you said that.
I will make up for the lost opportunity of listening to you, sir. But today was the day of Captain Aditya for sure.
Today absolutely is Captain Aditya. You can see everybody is saying that. And Ketan sir, I listened to you. So Ketan sir said, sir, आप थोड़ा आराम कीजिए sir. Cut the number of sessions. मैं बोला cut नहीं करूँगा sir. We are in a flow. मैं cut करूँगा sponsorship बंद हो जाएगा. Right? तो मैं cut नहीं करूँगा. Then he said, उन्होंने idea दिया. एक काम कीजिए sir. आप चुपचाप बैठिए. एक speaker को डाल दीजिए. करेंगे. But next Friday I'm going to speak. You can't keep a teacher away from speaking. So next Friday I'll speak. Yes, a lot of questions for you, sir. Yes, today's agro sponsor was Grow It. Somebody said, please repeat the name. The name is Grow It. Yes, those who want to have dinner, please. Thank you very, very much. Those who are going to stay, please, absolutely will take questions. Captain Aditya, love you. Nimesh sir proposed a vote of thanks. I'm taking the questions now, right, one by one. Nimesh sir, love you, sir, as always. A lot of people are going to come on this platform. A lot of professors are going to come on this platform. I promise. Right. Moradin sir, my teacher will come. I will invite Samir sir. I promise. Next Friday's session, sir. Very simple, bete. We are going to talk about agriculture and stimulus package in agriculture, and I'm going to I am going to talk about how the agriculture reforms are going to take in. So now that you have this, Captain, can you share your details? Is what Nitin Chuk, my lovely student, Nitin ji, right? He wants your contact details. So if you could just type it, I'll be happy. Hemant ji, love you. You please told me to talk about that. I did that today. I called Mujib ji for you only. Yes, Azim ji, but he will share the contact details. Sir, Aditya, if you could share your contact details.
Where do I type it, sir?
So you could type it in the chat, son.
1 minute.
Because Avinash is asking this for a second time. But first you type. Avinash, I'll answer this. Wait. I'll take all questions now. So okay, because scope for a person. Sorry, bete. So where is this coming from? Avinash ने 2 बार पूछा, वो बच्चा बार-बार एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है. उसको बहुत चिंता हो रही है कि उसके पास लैंड नहीं है तो क्या करूं. So right, Avinash, लैंड नहीं है तो don't worry यार, join me also. मेरे पास भी लैंड कुछ नहीं है, but we can do something about it. सबके पास 75 acres नहीं रहते रे बच्चे. So biggest cost in agriculture is land. How to address that? Captain Aditya. अच्छा, he's typing his contact details. Sir, आप पर देखिए, questions मैं आपको बोलूँगा, आप खाली answer कीजिए, 2 चीज मत कीजिए. You can't multitask like me. There is only one Anil Menon who can multitask. Okay, chaliye.
Right, sir. Let me come to that. It is true that the biggest cost is land, and unfortunately, land prices are crazy. My advice is for those who want to get into this is do not buy land. Do not invest capital. Do not make capital expenditure. Go for operational expenses. Take it on rent. First, you get land on rent, experiment on it, see what you can do, and later when you're confident, maybe you can think of it as an investment. And then, of course, there is a contract farming which you can have. But do not buy as of now. Go for renting of the land. And there are many people who would be willing to rent, but you have to know what to look for.
Captain Aditya, sir, and Avinash Bete, this is called as asset-light models. We're going to have a session very soon. Asset-light models. OYO is valued more than Indian hotels. Asset-light model. Lovely question. Great response. Sir, what is the scope for a person who doesn't own any land but want to enter agriculture as an industry?
When you say...
Can I?
Please, sir, please go.
Agri-tech. I don't know your background, Mehul. Agri-tech is one solution. Another solution will come from Captain himself.
Sir, when you say industry, what do you exactly mean? Do you mean processing? Do you mean servicing? What do you mean? Because you can't have a blanket check. You need to be specific as to what do you want to get into. It is not one size fits all. So I would like to have a clarification as what to gentleman means.
But जरा संभाल के आर्मी बैकग्राउंड है, डांट भी पड़ सकता है क्वेश्चन पूछने के टाइम में, संभाल के पूछ रहा. मेरे को भी डांट पड़ा है उससे. I missed the part. Are crops covered under fire insurance? Sangi.
Should I answer that, sir?
So, yes, sir. You are the person. You are the expert.
Right. Sir, as far as I am concerned, what I have found out that crops are not covered under fire insurance. And there is a reason for that, because people feel, or the rather insurance companies feel, that somebody might take a crop insurance for fire and torch it. And it is very difficult to prove otherwise. Now, that is one problem. There is lack of trust. Second thing is, what crops are covered is weather-based insurance. Even the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima is weather-based. It is depending on the monsoon or erratic monsoon or unseasonal monsoon. If the weather stations of the government catch it, it is recorded, only then you get it. And the process is very simple. It's very clear. It's very transparent. But to the best of my knowledge, there is no fire insurance per se. And I had a harrowing time after I lost the land, where the insurance company thought that we had set the farm on fire because we wanted to make it a real estate piece, because 75 acres of continuous land. So it's a very bad place to be in. If anybody finds that there is a fire insurance for crops, please do let me know, because I would like to take that. But to the best of my knowledge, it is not there. It's only weather-based.
Contact details is, so Captain saying, you know something, please let me know. Like I always say, I learn a lot from Menon Mantra's group, Telegram group, 922-316. 4501. I expected Captain to put his email ID, but he's given his number straight away.
I didn't know.
3164501.
I also
Absolutely fine, Captain. And my kids won't disturb you. Don't worry. They only tend to keep writing to you, so you may have to ignore some WhatsApp and answer at your leisure. That's what I do also. What is the scope of medicinal plants such as aloe vera, amla, and the market of turmeric in India? Sir,
phenomenal, sir. In fact, that is one topic I did not cover because, as I said, limited time, and there is so much you can do. Again, one of the key areas of the government, Ministry of Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. They are looking at this. Usme there is subsidies ranging from 30% to 75% depending on the crops. Phenomenal list of crops. There is a National Medicinal Board, and it is applicable pan-India. There was in the session, sir, in the morning, that there was a session where they asked, Rajasthan mein kya uga sakte hain? There are a lot of...
Sir, one sec. There is similarly Girish Kotari who's writing the same thing. So we had the session in the morning for my SPJN, exclusively for SPJN students. Right? Sir, need contact details which you have given as we wish to go to farming industry in Rajasthan. So abhi bhi wahi same question aaya, Girish Kotari saab se aaya. Boliye, sir.
You can look at what do you say, the National Medicinal Board. There are a lot of sturdy varieties of medicinal crops, shatavari, etc., which are quite sturdy. You can look at those. Of course, please let me give you a disclaimer. I do not know exactly where you're located. I don't know the exact geographical nature of your location. So that you have to look at local experts. But generic, if I have to give an advice, this is one thing. Second thing, there are certain food horticultural crops which are sturdy, like lime. Lemon is extremely sturdy crop. Shatavari is a shevga, that is drumsticks, is a sturdy crop. But these things, that's the reason I've recommended. These things you can do. Please take local advice as well for a person who's practicing over there. And as far as Rajasthan is concerned, sir, as I shared in the morning, there are instances where people have successfully cultivated saffron in Rajasthan, which is a sole prerogative of Kashmir, and people have successfully done that. So one of the ways is subscribe to magazines, like there's this Better India, there are enough magazines. Go through that. You have to do a lot of reading. Contact the farmer. Sometimes the contact details are given. Do your groundwork, visit the farmer who is doing it. Don't go by statistics, because what appears may not be the case. For example, people have this market research where they say, "Arey, this product sells for XYZ rupees, so therefore I will be earning so much." Please let me tell you. You remember I had told about Son Safa? Son Safa is yellow champa. In Mumbai, the price is for 10 rupees, you get 3 flowers. So around 3.5 per flower. Do you know how much I sell it at to the vendor? I sell it at 30, 40, 50 paise or 20 paise to the vendor. So that fellow makes 700% profit. People feel, you must be earning so much. It's not the case. So do your groundwork, visit the farmer, see for yourself, talk with the agriculture department, pose as a buyer to the vendor, saying, boss, what is the price? And then you pose as a product seller, saying, okay, now I have this, buy that. So these are the few tips on ground which you have to do in case you want to enter cultivation.
Sir, is hydroponics and vertical farming the future of agriculture?
Yes, it is the future of agriculture. But having said that, let me give you a few disclaimers. The reason hydroponics and aquaponics is the future is because in limited space, it is vertical farming. So land requirement also, you don't need acres and acres, small plots will do. There is temperature control. So your output generally is better. Otherwise, when you're doing primary cultivation where it is outside in the nature, that time it is very difficult to control a lot of factors. In hydroponics, it is not the case. And as I said, with less than 1% arable land, you have to improvise in technology. Urban farming is picking up. So this is the future. The only advisory I would like to make is before you grow even a single strand of grass on your farm, please have buyers ready. Because when you're growing something perishable, you have to be able to sell it within that point of time. Do not get into it. And again, the model which I told earlier, OPEX, go for operational expenses. Don't first invest into that. First, you take it on rent. See how you're doing it, and then you might go for that. You are going to make mistakes when you enter the field, because even if you're doing hydroponics and you have no idea about agriculture, 19-20 hona hai. Your first crop may not come. your first quality may not be there, or it may be a failure. Plus it requires, because temperature control hota hai, other factors control hota hai, infrastructure is of essence. And when I say infrastructure, it means that there has to be continuous power. So aap kaun se area mein ho, wahan pe what is the power situation? All these things you have to take into account before coming into this field. So to answer your question in a nutshell, yes, it has to be the future, because space is going to be a constraint, land is shrinking. But second is under advisement, please do a operational expense model rather than investing it first hand.
Sir, have specifications for micro food processor stimulus come out? Vaibhav has a startup in food processing, but I have not found any GRs for the same. Yes.
This I'm also trying to find. In case I find, I will let Professor Menon know.
So there is a question about this kids, right? And I would appreciate if there is some decency when you put questions. Humble request, we are speaking to an ex-armed person, armed forces person, right? I'm sorry if I say armed person, then nobody will write any question also. I meant armed forces person. थोड़ा decency रखिए बेटे. सब बच्चे लोग हैं, contract pack में question mark है, क्या है? ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Very nice question from Neha Joklegar. Do you offer, very good, इसको मैं answer question पूछता हूँ. Do you offer contract farming at Aditya Agro?
Not yet, but we are.
But they also want you to speak in 2 or 3 lines. What is? I respect the kid who put that contract farming. Ka jo I didn't like the way it was put. Can you let us know what is contract farming?
Okay, contract farming is basically.
Answer, sir. And what does investor need to do in contract farming? Neha Joglekar again. I don't know these people, but God bless. Very good. Yep.
Okay. Contract farming, as the name says, is you enter into a contract with the farmer for the production of a certain type of commodity, of a certain quality, of a certain scale, at a certain price, right? In that case, generally what happens is farmers have land, but they don't have know-how. They don't have the quality inputs, and it is in the interest of the company or the individual entering into a contract to provide the same. The interest of the individual is the higher the quality of the product, the assured supply of the product, the better it is from selling point of view. So it's a mutually beneficial arrangement, and it is a contract which can occur for at least 1 season and up to 5 years. That is what the law says. As to regards to contract farming at Aditya Agro, I am not currently into that. This now law has come. I'm seriously thinking of that. In fact, whatever I have shared with you are the lines which I want to progress in the future. That's why this is a very personalized presentation where I've given you my experiences. And it is something which is extremely required, since in my experience, what has happened is every time there is a harvest, I'm always nervous about selling it in APMCs who exploit our weakness that perishables have a time limit. In contract farming, this will not happen. Moringa and all is something which I am actively considering. So what I am preaching is what I will be practicing. Second thing what Aditya Agro Farms is doing is that you remember the farming as a service model where I was saying, we are going to do that where we are going to rent farms or patches of land for people who want to do farming but don't know how. So this is another win-win situation, where people who want to know what it is, because people have a very romantic notion about farming. Commercial cultivation is very different from actual farming. Older generation has this very romantic mentality, khud ka khet ho, I will have this. But when you get into commercials, commercial farming is very, very different. Some decisions have to be taken which do not subscribe to romantic concept of farming, ki khud ke liye karo. So the opportunity here is we want to rent out for people who are interested in this. It's a win-win. People come there, I earn. They also know what is to be done. They have a supply chain of food which is grown by them. So this is one model which you also can explore.
Sir, okay, so I got an immediate WhatsApp from Rikshit who says that contract farming was meant for the above answer, not as a question. Apologies for the misunderstanding. In fact, I apologize. I thought that was a question. Sorry, Rikshit. Love you, बच्चे. You kids rock यार. मैं यहाँ कुछ बोलता हूँ, यहाँ पे WhatsApp डाल देते हैं कि सर ये क्या है? My God यार, you're too good. Hello, Captain Aditya. I'm going to be here till the last question is answered. Those who want to have dinner can leave. Absolutely no problem. But this is a class where everybody should get something. Hello, Captain Aditya. I have spare fertile land at approximate 3,500 square feet adjacent to my instant food processing factory in Pune. How can I utilize this space first to develop a hobby and then take it further? Sir, you seem to be become the agri guru now. I'm getting worried. Go ahead.
No, but sir, let me tell you one thing, that every situation is very specific.
Correct. You said that
So
in the
if
disclaimer itself. You said that in the disclaimer.
because I can't give a one size fits all. What I've given is an overview.
Very
So
good.
that is the thing. So
And anyway, you have the number of Captain Aditya. So those who want to get connected, please go ahead.
if
Absolutely.
so what I would request. So what I would request, sir. Sir, what I would request.
One second.
Okay, yeah.
One size fits all नहीं हो सकता है. Simple answer. मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा वो line. One size fits all. Yes, sir. Please continue, Captain.
What I was saying was, sir, that if there are specific queries regarding specific instances, then that is better if we speak personal, one-to-one, rather than.
Then you can say pass. So I'll keep questioning. What do you think is personal? Say pass. Hello, Captain. Why haven't you registered your? You have full freedom to say pass, sir. Why haven't you registered your company as a private limited yet? Is there any particular reason? Pass, or do you want to answer?
No, I will answer that. I feel that right now private limited is not the way for me to go, at least at the stage I am at. We are going to change from private limited to LLP, and once it gives us more freedom in terms of investments, etc. This is what my personal opinion is.
Sir, there is a class coming up on LLP. Don't please take away my topic.
So,
what are the challenges in producing cereals and pulses in India? We are importing these crops worth $25 billion, which can be easily earned by Indian farmers. Lovely question, Rahul Kajoria.
Sir, cereals and pulses is something which is not in my area of specialization.
So, yeah. You are thinking of getting into value addition space. Does it make sense to get into contract farming to avoid land rentals and labor issues? Specifically saying it is for aromatic crops, lemongrass and Jamarosa. ये तो बड़ा question आ रहा है अभी. ठीक है, हाँ.
See, when you talk about getting into land, as in you're saying that yes, it makes sense to get into contract farming, because again the same thing, the liability is not yours.
Okay, I think we'll also have an English class how to frame questions very soon. Right. Hello, sir. My question is, can we have the concept of solar farms, parks in non-arable lands to make most of the land? Both environment and landowner may get benefit. Parth, love you. Lovely question.
Yes, sir. In fact, there is a model which is being worked on where it's a combination of solar cum horticulture. The concept in this is that you have the land on poles, the solar panels on poles, and below those poles you've got farming of vegetables. So you generate power also, you generate crop output also. So there are hybrid models which are also taking place now. So this is one concept you can do that.
Hybrid horticulture and solar, as in I don't know. So going for this is answered. I think these questions came before you said. My experience has been bad. Do you think reforms this will get addressed? Okay, so somebody had a bad experience with contract farming. Will it get addressed with reforms? Obviously, it varies from person to person. You can't speak about that, Captain. I'm not even taking that question. Abhi, you will have to take it personally with Captain, and of course.
I would, in fact, sir, I would request that person to get in touch with me, because what was his bad experience is something I would like an insight on. So it will help me make my session more practical, because if he has a first-hand experience, is something which we can learn from.
Very good, sir. Very good, Captain. Are there any well-known and legally recognized firm? Abhi tera contact karna, bachche Avinash jo bhi hai, right? Are there any well-known and legally recognized firm who help in finding and renting land? Kya questions are aaj for agriculture? Since the biggest concern in dealing with agri land is authenticity of land documents. Today has been amazing.
Sir, this is actually a very valid question, and the answer is sadly no. Because in this sector, jitna there is, what he's saying is absolute, or she is saying is absolutely right. Unless you know that person personally, there is a lot of cheating that takes place. And I have also not come across anybody I can recommend as a firm, because it is, you have to do your own due diligence is all I can say. It's a question which has no answer.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think you have answered this. I want to enter into agriculture. I have neither agri background nor I own land, but I'm keen interest. How should I start? Agri tech, baat kiya hai.
Sir, may I add in this?
Sir, thoda jaldi, sir.
There are government-sponsored courses, MSME courses, which tell you about various facets of agriculture. Yes, MSME का official courses होते हैं, 2 दिन के होते हैं, Saturday, Sunday होते हैं, on various facets like poly house होता है, you've got processing होता है, exports होता है, and at the end of 2 days you get a certificate. And if for example, where does it prove useful? Now, if you're doing a food processing course, if you get a certificate from the MSME after doing that course, you can apply for the subsidy and it is recognized. So there is an advantage there, and it is quite reasonable because it's a government course. So you can increase and research on ground. Please find out on web. Because of Google, you can do so many things, but authenticate it by going on ground and talking with farmers.
Lovely, sir. Lovely. AdityaAgroFarmMumbai.gmail.com, right, is already given. Contact details, sir. Captain has given your number. Can question? Can subsidy be taken in farms are taken on rent? अरे इनको subsidy के ऊपर ही सबको चलाना है. India को subsidy पे ही चलाओ आप लोग. चलो.
Now, again, it depends on if you are into cultivation, primary cultivation, and if you are a farmer, then if the subsidy is for farming, then yes, you can take it only if you are a farmer. If you are into processing, then you don't need to be, if you take a land on rent, you don't need to be a farmer to get that subsidy. So it depends on what you want to do and what is the subsidy available for. So that I hope is clear. Yeah. So renting does not matter in that case.
Again, वापस, I think they are very concerned why you have not registered your company as a private limited company. दूसरे पर आ रहा है. Forget it, sir. You have answered.
नहीं, sir, इसमें नहीं. Okay, one point I want to clarify. Private limited mein you have to keep minutes. You have to have. There are a lot of legal compliances which, as of now, I don't feel I want to get into. LLP.
I think they're trying to link it something to do with the environment. It has got nothing to do with the environment.
No.
It is Captain Aditya's choice. Okay, there is a question. Where is the location? I think this is getting personal. Sir, please charge for your consultancy. Not everybody should be Anil Menon. Anil Menon gives free consultancy, sir. But please do charge. No, I'm serious. Please do charge. That's important.
Sir,
one sec. It's important to respect professionals. So I'm not taking a no. That is your choice. Is there any way to find buyers for your product before even we get into cultivation? Since there are क्या लंबा डाल रहा है रे ये बच्चा, ये तो बोल दिया लगता है मैंने. जा बस हो गया यार. अजीब तू यार तंग कर रहा है मेरे को. ये वापस वही क्वेश्चन डाल रहा है. Can we learn farm techniques on your farm? So they want to come to your farm now.
Sure, it would be my pleasure, sir. But then that you have to get in touch with me over mail. That will be better. If you're serious.
So Naresh Reddy is already talking about agrotourism, right? He says that is it considered as capital for shelter, lodging? Is it considered as agriculture investment? Do I have to convert revenue land to construct lodging?
Okay. Regarding agrotourism, sir, let me quickly give clarification on a couple of points. Agrotourism is considered to be a commercial activity, not a agriculture activity.
Fresh.
So therefore, correct.
So it's a commercial activity, not an agriculture.
No, but sir, there is something which I want to add. Because it's a commercial, so GST is pe lagta hai. Now, second point which I want to make is that in the case of getting into tourism, if you're getting into farm stays, there is a separate scheme. Incredible India ka bed and breakfast scheme hai, where commercial rates are not applicable. Residential rates of electricity are applicable. So there are government wants to promote people who own farms to get into this. Up to 5 rooms are allowed, and you can get into this as part of your hospitality, but the restriction is 5 rooms. So then the permissions and all, they're very greatly reduced. So you can consider that to begin with instead of getting into full-fledged resorts and stuff.
So yes, Abhishek Biani, see there are some very personal questions from Avinash Patil and Girish Kothari. You have given your number, sir. Please let them come to you personally. I am from Sangli. Can I do this? Can I do that? Sir, again, मैं बोलता हूँ, please charge for your consultancy and donate to Hunger Collective. Hello, Captain. Donate to Hunger Collective. I'm
ठीक है sir. Okay sir.
पैसा है, वो लोग देंगे भी मेरे बच्चे. उनको भी अच्छा नहीं लगता है फ्री में एडवाइस देने का. आप चार्ज करके डोनेट कीजिए. यार do that डब्बा वाला का थिंग ना. जो पैशनेट अबाउट, और बच्चे मेरे देंगे आपको. ऑलरेडी सौरभ अग्रवाल has written, ये लोग सब बच्चे देते हैं and nobody wants it free. आप फ्री में मत करना, उतना ही रिक्वेस्ट है. एंड आप डब्बा वाला को देना. People who are in Mumbai, they are starving. So Girish Kothari ji, all this very good. I am diverting it. I love Abhishek Biani. He's a lovely kid. उनका आपका गौशाला है, and उन्होंने एक लिखा है, my dad has become a huge fan of Captain. Sir, coming from the head of Damodar Industries, that's a big compliment. I can't get you a bigger platform. Listed company Damodar Industries. उनका main person बोल रहा है, he has become your fan. अभिषेक, तू मेरा ही fan रहना बेटे. Dad को उनका fan बनना, तू मेरा ही fan रहना बेटे. तो थोड़ा problem हो जाएगा. Amazing lecture. Bamboo, Moringa go hand in hand. बस सब बाकी ठीक है. Dixit, apology granted. I am apologizing. I'm sorry. बाकी कुछ नहीं है sir. एक last question. Right. Please click share link of Hunger Collective. ये मजा आ गया. ये क्वेश्चन मेरे को सबसे अच्छा लगा. आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर इट वेरी सून. बेटे मेरे को कैसा, आई गिव यू द नंबर. सर एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है आप लोग से. बेटे आप मेरा सोशल मीडिया पे आके जरा पूछना, इंस्टाग्राम में आके पूछना, अपूर्वा गुप्ता हंगर कलेक्टिव का लिंक. ओके मैं इधर डाल नहीं रहा हूँ, आई एम सॉरी. सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन राइट. नहीं सर ये थोड़ा लंबा जा रहा है क्लास. डोंट मिसअंडरस्टैंड मी, थोड़ा लंबा जा रहा है. आई हैव टू रेस्पेक्ट समबडीज टाइम. So I'll take 2 or 3 questions. मुझे भी डिनर खाना है. Respected colleagues, is organic farming better than regular farming? That's all.
Okay, sir. Again, when you say better, what do you mean in terms of? Is it environment?
Sir, ये मोहित करके डांट दो, बच्चे को डांटना.
नहीं sir, because sir, better मतलब क्या है? In the sense कि you're talking about whether it is environmentally friendlier or whether the product is commercially more expensive. So when you say better, what do you mean? Now there is this thing which I would like to share about organic farming, where many people have this debate, organic farming versus chemical farming. Now understand that if you have a cup of tea and if you have a cup of coffee, once the milk goes into your stomach, does your stomach know that whether the milk has come from the tea or whether it has come from the coffee? It doesn't. So likewise, when you give fertilizers to the plant, and when once it's absorbed by the roots and it gets processed in the stem, that time it doesn't matter what the source is. Problem कहाँ होता है? Problem यहाँ होता है is when people overuse. Green revolution की सर आप बात कर रहे थे, but green revolution में people went so crazy. They started using chemical fertilizers left, right and center. Punjab और हरियाणा में the topsoil is destroyed. It will take at least about 50 years for the nutritive value to come back. So the use is optimal use of nutrients. It is not whether organic is better or not. With regards to price, again, sir, when you are having chemical fertilizers, that time you synthesize that fertilizer. So you know exactly कि phosphorus, potassium, phosphorus, ये कितना मात्रा में होता है. Naturally, these elements do not occur so much in nature. So गोबर में आप अगर देखोगे जो नाइट्रोजन, phosphorus और potassium values होते हैं वो बहुत कम होते हैं. So if the plant has to be given that, you have to compensate by using extra quantities of gobar. So अगर आपका input cost बढ़ जाता है तो आपका output cost भी तो बढ़ेगा. You will not obviously sell at a loss. So it's not always that organic farming is expensive, the products are expensive because the quality is better. It is because uska input cost may be higher. The fertilizers may be costing more. That is one thing you have to consider. And having said that, there is no study which proves that organic farming is better. But what I'm saying is it is good if you enter this field because environmentally it is supposed to be more, beneficial. That's all.
Last question for today. Thank you very much. We're nearing 9:15 and those who have questions can go direct to Captain Aditya. He will charge you for that and he will donate it for the Dabbawala's movement. I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. There is going to be a cost for everything. The cost is Dabbawala movement. They are starving. Captain has told me that we have to help them. These are people who go and deliver food. Today we are not able to trace them. So please talk to Captain Aditya and I request Captain Aditya to be staff. The last question is from a student who says, sir, I do not have any understanding of agriculture. I am from Kolhapur, Maharashtra. God, wow, what is happening here? This Zoom sessions are taking me all over the place. Somebody in US, somebody in Kolhapur. God bless you all. Wheat farming and I want to start my career. This is the perfect question to end. I want to start my career in agriculture, but I don't have a background. I'm an engineer by profession. Can you please guide? Class, please put down your last comments for Captain Aditya because once he's answering this question, we are closing. Please say thanks to Captain Aditya for his time. So please answer this question to this lovely engineer from Kolhapur.
Okay, sir, 2-3 things my friend has to consider. One is when he wants to enter this field, at what stage he wants to enter. He wants to get into cultivation, he wants to get into processing, he wants to get into value add services, what? That is one. Second is depending on what he wants to do. As I have explained earlier, there are courses that are available wherein they will tell you what are the prospects of what you want to do. If you want to do hydroponic, there are courses for hydroponics. If you want to talk about basic agriculture, there is courses for basic agriculture also. Third is see what area you operate in. See what are the crops that are grown. Because generally there you will see that because there is so many crops, there are so many facilities also. The government believes in cluster-based development. Cluster-based development is when one area has phenomenal amount of same crops. So that's why the government, even in the National Medicinal Board, wants to develop it as a cluster. If you see what the crops are, you can take it out of a example to grow those crops on your farm if you're interested in getting into cultivation. Fourth is, first get into trading. Find out if you're wanting to sell something, find the market first. The reason is, once you have something which is grown, that time you have to sell it in time. So get into trading first, buy from one commodity and sell it to another person. In that ways, you can benefit. In the case of vegetables, generally what happens is people want a basket of vegetables. When you're starting out, you can't grow all 7 or 8 vegetables. When you do trading, you buy from one place and sell in another. That time it gives you a safety net. So when you start, whatever you start becomes your profit. And you can start with 1 or 2 crops and buy the 6. Then you can scale up. Then you can do all 8 crops and then sell. So have your marketing channels ready. Knowledge, the tragedy is internet is about, internet gives you choices, but it can't help you to choose. And in some cases, there is going to be trial and error. Contact people who practice farming. There are progressive farmers. If you want, you can talk to me. I will help you. I want good people to enter this field. And that's the reason for doing it, sir. Because unless good people enter this field, this is not going to progress. And he's an engineer, excellent. So it is so scientific. The micronutrient uptake level and all, amazing terminology, precision farming. These guys will understand it far faster than maybe normal people. And that's the whole idea of having this lecture. I'm glad that you're thinking of getting into it. For further details, I will definitely help you out, or contact any other progressive farmer.
And then donate to Dabbawala.
Okay, sir.
Not the least, I think all of you all are thanking him. Many of you are still staying back. This has been an amazing eye-opener. For me, farming means paper उठाता था ना बेटे डर लगता था. Farmer suicide. क्या हो रहा है? Widows, Vidarbha. But today's session has been an amazing session. I think all of you, sir, just look at the chat, sir. Just look at the chats. What else can I say? I can't pay you for your time, but I can give you this. You can just keep looking at what people are saying. Abhishek has put this in very, very capital letters. एक आदमी आपको thank कर रहा है, sir. और क्या बोलूं? I leave it to you all now to take it further with Captain Aditya. My only request to all of you all is, when you take his time, respect his time. Please respect that there is somebody who is giving him time. Don't pay him, but donate for the cause that he is supporting. That's a Dabbawala movement. I have already connected Rajshri Sai.
Yes, sir. We are working on that. We are working on that, sir.
To Captain Aditya. The moment he told me this is happening, I was like, boss, iske liye kuch karna hai. People who are feeding or who fed the Mumbai office goers today are dying of hunger. Not fair. Aditya Saab ne mere ko ye bataya. Immediately I connected Rajshri Sai and then they are working together. In fact, Rajshri Sai ma'am of Collective Hunger also said, amazing guy to speak with. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. Thank you, Captain. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
On Friday will be an amazing session of action in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Thank you very, very much. We will again have a guest speaker from that particular place. I will set the background. After the background, the practical session. The same thing will continue. The theory, the background, and then the practical session. Today we have extended time, but I think nobody will mind it because I think they are still going on typing for you, dear Captain. That's for you, and please keep reading. Thank you very, very much. So it comes as thank you, sir. Thank you for an insightful session. Thanks a lot, Captain. Always wanted to go for farming. That's, I think, the classic line to end this. Thank you very much, Captain. Namaskar to you. Thank you, participants. God bless you. See you in Telegram till Friday. Okay, thank you very much. Captain, look at me, please. Thank you very much.
Sir, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
Yes, sir. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
Right.
Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Yeah, bye, sir.